Hey guys, welcome to Chatterbox Podcast Issue 5. I'm here with Leslie and Liz this issue, and we're going to be talking about all things Trump and Melania Trump as well. Did I say that right? Is it Melania?
I think you could have just said Trump because it was just last name.
It's all encompassing.
That's
the same
true,
last name.
it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all things Trump. So first off, we wanted to discuss the Muslim ban that Trump actually placed. And what did you have to say about that, Leslie?
What?
You had a lot to say earlier.
Yeah, not the whole school. Not that anyone watches this.
True.
To a bad start in the first. I think it's un-American to refuse to let people into our country.
Okay, hold on. How about we explain what it is first, like, to those who don't
That's
know
true.
what it is.
Are there people who don't know what this is?
If you do not know what this is, we have big problems. However, this is a bigger problem that we need to address. So, yeah, Leslie, go for it.
Really, Liz?
Explain it. Go for it.
Your time to shine, girl. Oh my lord.
So bad. I can't.
Okay, so he actually...
Okay, hold on. We have a reliable source present. Jake Fry's in the background. Jake, can you explain it, please?
So essentially he signed an executive action which is preventing immigrants and refugees, immigrants for 90 days and refugees for 120 days from entering this country. It did immediately affect also green card holders as well, and it's 7 Muslim predominant countries, and he said that the people who are coming in are going to be prioritized by religion, and the minority religions essentially meaning that he was going to let Christians in and not Muslims in.
That was
Yay.
beautiful and well put. Thank you, Jake Fry.
Yeah, much better than my constant stream of laughter.
Yeah. But there has been a lot of outlash against this.
Backlash?
Backlash, thank you. There has been a lot of backlash on this, as I think there was a professor from Harvard and a few other East Coast schools and like students as well who have PhDs, and they have been residents in the U.S. for quite a few years, and they were out of the country when this happened, and they're in one of these 7 countries that Trump basically restricted people from coming in from. Made no sense, but like they garnered a lot of attention on these individuals because, I don't even like know where I'm going with this thought. But the main point, basically, what that really heartened me out of all of this, like this whole dilemma, was the fact that so many people went to LAX and other airports. I think the one in San Francisco as well. I don't actually.
And JFK, I think.
Yeah, and JFK. I don't know the exact count. Do you guys know how many people?
A lot of people.
A lot of people went, and it was really heartening to see how united our country can be, and how this is something that will affect a portion of the nation, but definitely not the majority of the nation. But it's quite heartening to see that so many people can stand for a diverse, of such a diverse and different group that it affects.
For sure. I definitely think that while it's really difficult to gauge how many people it affects, I think it's important to acknowledge that a lot of people will not be directly affected by this if they're not from one of these countries you're visiting, or if they're born here, resident, something like that. But essentially it's people being able to stand up for something that isn't directly affecting them, that they realize that this may not affect me, but it'll affect my neighbor, my friend, the person who works beside me, how they might be going through struggle, so they stand up, they protest, they rally behind them for the support, like, the American people. And I really agree with that. I really do think there's a lot of valor and honor in that, and speaking up and not being afraid to, be active that way and to take action, because ultimately these are signs and these are, like, active demonstrations of people showing that they're against what's happening right now in our executive branch, and I do 100% support that. Especially if it's done only if it's done peacefully. Aggressive acts of violence, aggressive protests are definitely not the goal. And I know they ran into problems with that with Berkeley, or like the people that live around Berkeley But if it's done peacefully and if it's done correctly, and if it does spread a message, then I think that does have a lot of power.
I think a trend that has been kind of reoccurring is like people standing up for something that they believe in, whether it's protesting at the Women's March. I know so many people showed up for it. It was quite a record, and it's really heartening to see that. I personally, I have never really witnessed. I mean, I've witnessed protests, and I know that people have stood up for like their beliefs, but not something on such a large scale as this. This is like the first time that I remember in my life, like witnessing protests at the airport and the Women's March in LA in such a close proximity as well. It definitely has influenced my thoughts on this whole situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did go to the Women's March, and it was 750,000 people present, which is incredible. We surpassed the amount of people in Washington, D.C., and just to see, like, the sheer amount of, like, people there was insane. Like, seas of people, and all with the most, like, positive messages, like, spreading love and spreading just the most amazing, like, I don't even know how to say it. Everything was just incredible, like, you know.
Messages.
Absolutely, yeah. Just fighting for equality and fighting for fairness, and I think that's I think what's most powerful about it.
And definitely, I think it's very easy to get yourself down on the negativity and the bad parts of this whole
ordeal.
This whole ordeal our country is in the middle of right now. But I think one thing that's significant and one thing that I think will help protect a lot of people from the fallout of this ordeal we're going through is the fact that I think now more than ever, you have people who are informed and who are willing to fight with whatever they have to protect the rights of people who might otherwise have those rights taken away.
I agree. But I mean, so Trump has so far gone through quite a lot, but we definitely cannot forget about the First Lady as well.
Potus.
Yeah, Potus. But a couple days ago, so this occurred, I believe, a few years ago, but Melania Trump filed a libel lawsuit against the Daily Mail, which is a news agency in the UK, I believe. So it's really big, and basically, a while before she had plans, or no, before she even married Trump, I believe. So she was a model before, and she worked for huge modeling agencies in Milan and in New York. And the Daily Mail published an article, I believe, that said that she worked for these agencies and were suspected to be escort agencies as well. And she claimed that that publication ruined her chances of climbing the ladder, I guess you could say, and earning more money. And now, as First Lady of the United States, she is unprecedented in the sense that no First Lady has
been accused of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually went for a lawsuit. Like, this lawsuit wasn't, it occurred before she was First Lady, but it's still ongoing. So that's been unprecedented. Mm-hmm. And Trump even, had a statement saying that he is working towards making libel lawsuits more easier to win.
Which could potentially be very dangerous to the modern media, because we rely heavily on freedom of press to keep our people educated. And the second our government can claim, no, that's libel, every time something they don't like gets printed, then we've got a problem.
Yeah, I agree. And this is where I'm going to kind of let my personal bias come in.
Like it hasn't been here for the...
I tried to keep it, but no. At this point, I'm gonna share my thoughts on First Lady. So I completely I'm in awe of the fact that we went from someone that fights for women's rights and for the rights of people of color, for just child activism and that just children being active to fight childhood obesity, to someone who has been a former model. And not that past plays a role, but I do think that she doesn't stand for something nearly as strong as Michelle did, and that
isn't her thing cyberbullying? I think
I believe that's what she said.
Check her husband's Twitter. Great,
right? That's so true.
You want to stop cyberbullying? How about you start with the person you're married to first? But
right.
But yeah,
she's I think cyberbullying is a really big problem in this country. Yeah, your husband's responsible for 95% of it.
Yeah.
And so far, I feel like Michelle had an overwhelming presence that like I
Absolutely.
always was aware of what she wanted to do and like hoped to achieve.
Mhm.
And so far, I haven't really gotten any vibes from Melania. Like she mentioned her goal was cyberbullying, but I haven't really gone like
Yeah.
felt that she is working towards this goal as
Absolutely.
of yet. And she claims that because the first lady, the position of first lady, it's really kind of vague in the sense that it's not like a job in a sense, and they're not paid to do it. And she says that she's not going to use her position to kind of get more money for herself. And people have been skeptical of that. And because in the past, all the money that they have raised went immediately to charity. And people are now speculating to see how Melania is going to use her powerful position and see what she does with
See,
it.
I think that's the key thing though. It's a powerful position. You should be utilizing that, not to make money, you should be utilizing that to improve our country, because ultimately your husband does have the highest position in our country, and you should take advantage of that. Use your power for good, and don't just let it slip by or just sit idly and let like other people's preconceptions of you, take advantage. No, prove me wrong. Show me you're going to be a good first lady. Show me you're going to be a good president. That's kind of where I stand on that,
It may be too early as of now, but in my opinion, like Trump has already done so many things in the past, month already, that I was expecting more from Melania, but
Absolutely.
we'll see.
Hey, Jake Fry, didn't you have some stuff to say about his children? Trump's children.
Oh,
that's right.
yeah, his children, because they're now running the business, are now charging the taxpayers when they have to go on business trips abroad and anywhere, because Secret Service now have to accompany them everywhere. So essentially the taxpayers are paying for Trump Industries.
And didn't you say something about Melania not wanting to live in Trump Tower and not the White House?
Yeah.
And
I do.
repercussions of that.
That is the case, isn't it? She
Yeah.
wants to live in
Yeah.
the Trump Tower.
And the youngest son too.
And of course, she needs security as well because she's the first lady. And yeah, that's going to be high level security.
Yeah,
and that's going to
inconvenient
cost
to
a
say
lot
the
of money.
least. Yeah.
And what? Because she doesn't want to move into the White House with her kid.
I understand there could be other reasons, but realize the financial strain that it puts on the people to pay for that,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Thanks for joining us and tuning into this Issues podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.